Hello, and welcome back to Daily English Whisper. Take a slow breath in and gently out. Let your mind slow down. My name is Max, and today we are going to talk about something very important. Not grammar, not vocabulary, but something deeper. Today's episode is called Motivation to Learn English Daily. Slow listening podcast, confidence and growth. Because maybe you feel like this. You start learning English. You feel excited. You feel motivated. And then, slowly, that feeling disappears. You get busy. You feel tired. You lose your rhythm, and you think, I'll start again tomorrow. But tomorrow becomes later, and later becomes someday, and someday never comes. If that sounds familiar, you are not alone. This is not a problem with your ability. It is not a problem with your intelligence. It is a problem with consistency. And consistency is not about motivation. That is the first myth. Many people think, I need to feel motivated to learn every day. No, you don't, because motivation comes and goes. Some days you feel strong. Some days you feel empty. That is normal. Another myth is this: I need a lot of time to improve. Also not true. You don't need hours. You need small, repeated moments. That is where real progress happens. So today, we change the way you see motivation. Not as a feeling, but as a system. A simple system, something you can follow, even on difficult days. Now, here is the key idea for today. You don't need more motivation. You need a way to continue when motivation is low. Because the real secret of fluency is not intensity. It is continuity, small actions, every day, again and again. So in this episode, you will listen, you will reflect, you will repeat a few simple sentences, and slowly you will build a stronger mindset, a calmer mindset, a mindset that helps you continue even when it feels hard. So don't worry about perfection. Don't worry about speed. Just stay here, stay present, and let's begin together. Now, let me ask you something simple. What is motivation, really? Is it a strong feeling that stays all the time? No. Is it something you can control every day? Not exactly. Motivation is like energy. Sometimes it is high, sometimes it is low, sometimes it disappears without a reason. And that is normal. So if you depend only on motivation, you will stop many times. That is why we need something different. We need a simple way to continue, even when you don't feel like it. And today, we use listening for that. Calm listening, slow listening, small repetition. Because when your mind is tired, you don't need pressure, you need something gentle. So here is the method for today. You listen, you stay relaxed, and sometimes you repeat a simple sentence. Not many, just a few. And those sentences will help your mindset, your confidence, your consistency. Let's begin. Listen first. I don't. I feel like doing much today, but I can do something small. Now repeat after me. I don't feel like doing much today, but I can do something small. Very nice. This sentence is important because it is honest. You don't feel strong, but you don't stop. You do something small. Now another one. Listen. I don't need a perfect day. I just need to continue. Repeat. I don't need a perfect day. I just need to continue. Excellent. Now feel the meaning. You don't wait for the right moment. You create a small moment. That is enough. Now one more. Listen carefully. It's okay if this feels slow. I'm still moving forward. Now repeat after me. It's okay if this feels slow. I'm still moving forward. Very good. These are not big sentences, but they are powerful because they change how you think. And when your thinking changes, your actions change. Now remember something important. You don't need to feel motivated to continue. You only need to stay connected, even in a small way, even in a quiet way. And that is what we are doing here. So stay relaxed, stay with the sound, and let these ideas become part of your thinking. Now, let's talk about the real question. Why is it so hard to stay motivated with English every day? Maybe you say, I want to improve, but I lose energy. Or, I study for a few days, and then I stop. Or maybe this one feels very real when I don't see fast progress. I feel discouraged. Yes, that happens to many learners, and it does not mean you are lazy. It does not mean you are bad at English. It means you are human, because progress is not always exciting. Sometimes it feels slow. Sometimes it feels invisible. Sometimes you are improving, but you cannot feel it yet. And that is exactly when many people stop. Not because they cannot learn, but because they think slow progress means no progress. And that is not true. Small progress still matters. Quiet progress still matters. Invisible progress still matters. Because English grows inside you. Before it becomes obvious outside you. First, your ear changes. Then, your confidence changes. Then, your reactions change. And one day, you notice something simple. A sentence feels easier. A word comes faster. A video feels clearer. That is how growth often works. Not in one big moment, but in many small moments. So today, I want to give you several simple ways to stay connected to English, even when motivation is low. Not difficult ways, not extreme ways, just real ways. Ways for busy days, tired days, distracted days, days when your confidence feels strong, and days when it does not, because that is real life. And your English has to fit inside your real life, not inside a perfect schedule. If this episode is helping you, you can like the video. That small action supports daily English Whisper and helps more learners find calm English practice like this. Now, let's begin with the first way to stay motivated every day. Way number 1, Make your English practice too small to fail. This is very important because many people stop not because they can't learn, but because their plan is too big, too heavy, too demanding. They think, today I will study for 1 hour, but then the day becomes busy, or they feel tired and they do nothing. So instead, we change rule. You don't need a big session. You need a small action, something so easy that you cannot say no. For example, 1 minute of listening, 1 sentence of shadowing, 1 short moment of attention. That is enough. Now let's practice with a sentence. Listen first. I don't need to do a lot. I just need to begin. Now repeat after me. I don't need to do I just need to begin. Very nice. This is the mindset. You don't wait for energy. You start small. Now imagine this. You are in a small moment. Maybe you are waiting for something. Maybe you are organizing a drawer or adjusting something on your desk. Instead of doing nothing, you listen to 1 short audio or repeat 1 sentence. That moment becomes practice. That is how consistency grows. Now another sentence. Listen. Even a small step today keeps me moving. Repeat. Even a small step today keeps me moving. Excellent. Now feel the idea. You don't need big progress. You need continuous progress. And small steps are easier to repeat. Now let's continue. Listen carefully. I can do 1 minute, even if I feel tired. Now repeat after me. I can do 1 minute, even if I feel tired. Good. This is very real, because some days you don't feel strong, but 1 minute is possible, and 1 minute keeps your habit alive. Now one more. Listen. If I start small, I don't need to stop. Repeat. If I start small, I don't need to stop. Excellent. Now, here is something important. When you start small, sometimes you continue longer. But even if you don't, you still win, because you stayed consistent. And consistency is more important than intensity. So from now on, don't ask, how much can I do today? Ask, what is the smallest thing I can do today? That question will change everything, because small actions are easier to repeat, and repetition builds fluency. Slowly, quietly, but powerfully. Now, let's move to the second way. Way number 2. Remove pressure and protect your energy. This is very important because many people stop learning English not because they don't want to continue, but because it feels heavy. Too much effort, too much expectation, too much pressure. They think, I need to focus more, I need to do it better, I need to improve faster. And slowly, English becomes something stressful, something tiring, something they avoid. So today, we change that. You don't need more pressure. You need more ease, more calm, more flexibility. Because when your mind is relaxed, you learn better. You continue more easily. Now let's practice with a sentence. Listen first. I don't need to push myself today. I can go gently. Now repeat after me. I don't need to push myself today. I can go gently. Very nice. This sentence changes your approach. You don't force progress. You allow progress. Now, imagine this. You are tired. Your day was long. Your mind is not sharp. Instead of stopping completely, you choose something light. You listen without effort. You repeat one sentence. That is enough. Now, another one. Listen. I can learn better when I feel calm. Repeat. I can learn better when I feel calm. Excellent. This is true, because tension blocks learning, but calm opens your mind. Now, let's continue. Listen carefully. It's okay to have a slow day. I'm still learning. Now, repeat after me. It's okay to have a slow day. I'm still learning. Very good. This sentence is very important because not every day feels productive, but that does not mean you are not improving. You are still building the habit. You are still staying connected. And that matters. Now, one more. Listen. I don't need to do everything today, just something. Repeat. I don't need to do everything today, just something. Good. Now feel that idea. Not everything, just something. That is enough. That is sustainable. That is real life. Now, here is something important. When you remove pressure, you reduce resistance. You stop fighting yourself. And when you stop fighting yourself, you continue more easily. So from now on, don't ask yourself, am I doing enough? Ask, can I make this easier? Because easier practice is more repeatable, and repeatable practice builds fluency, slowly, naturally, without stress. And that is the kind of learning that lasts. Now, let's move to the third way. Way number 3. Make English part of your identity, not just a task. This is deeper, because many people see English like this. Something I need to study, something I need to finish, something I need to improve. And that creates distance. It feels like work, like pressure, like something external. But when you change this, everything becomes easier. Because English is no longer something you do, it becomes something you are becoming, little by little, step by step. Now let's feel this with a sentence. Listen first. I am becoming someone who uses English every day. Now repeat after me. I am becoming someone who uses English every day. Very nice. This sentence is powerful because it changes your identity. You are not waiting to be fluent. You are already becoming that person. Now imagine this. You are walking. You hear something in English. Instead of ignoring it, you listen. You stay with it. That small action is part of your identity now. Now, another one. Listen. I don't need to be perfect. I just need to keep showing up. Repeat. I don't need to be perfect. I just need to keep showing up. Good. Now feel that idea, showing up, even when it's small, even when it's quiet. That is how identity grows. Now let's continue. Listen carefully. This is part of my daily life now. Now repeat after me. This is part of my daily life now. Very good. English is not something separate anymore. It is inside your routine, inside your moments, inside your thoughts. Now, one more. Listen. I don't stop just because I feel tired. I adapt. Repeat. I don't stop just because I feel tired. I adapt. Excellent. This is very important because consistency is not about being strong every day. It is about adjusting. Some days you do more. Some days you do less. But you don't stop. Now here is something key. When English becomes part of your identity, you don't ask, "Do I feel motivated today?" You ask, "What is my small action today?" And that changes everything. Because identity does not depend on feeling. It depends on repetition. Small actions, again and again. So from now on, don't see yourself as someone who is trying to learn English. See yourself as someone who is already on the path, already moving, already building something, and slowly that belief becomes real. Now, before we continue, I want to ask you something simple. What sentence from today feels the most real to you? You can write it in the comments, just one sentence. That small action helps your brain remember it and helps you stay connected. Now, let's move to the last main way. Way number 4. Create tiny daily anchors. So motivation does not need to do all the work. This is very important because motivation is not stable. Some mornings you feel ready. Some afternoons you feel empty. Some evenings you tell yourself you will practice later, and later never comes. So we need something stronger than mood. We need anchors, small fixed moments, simple moments that already exist in your day. Moments that can hold your English even when your energy is low. For example, maybe every day you make coffee, or you put water in a bottle, or you sit down before opening your computer, or you fold one piece of clothing before leaving your room. These moments are already there. You do not need to create them. You only need to connect English to them. That is the power of an anchor. Now let's practice with a sentence. Listen first. I don't wait for motivation. I return to my routine. Now repeat after me. I don't wait for motivation. I return to my practice. Routine. Very nice. This is a strong sentence because it changes the question. Not, do I feel ready, but what do I do next? That is a much calmer way to continue. Now imagine this. You are standing in the kitchen, waiting a few seconds. Not a long time, just a small pause. Instead of reaching for your phone, you play 1 minute of English. That pause becomes your anchor. Now another one. Listen. This small moment belongs to my English. Repeat. This small moment belongs to my English. Excellent. That sentence is powerful because it helps you claim a moment, not a big part of the day, just one small piece. And one small piece, repeated every day, becomes a habit. Now let's continue. Listen carefully. When this moment comes, I know what to do. Now repeat after me. When this moment comes, I know what to do. Very good. That is what anchors do. They remove decision. And when you remove decision, you remove friction. You don't spend energy asking yourself, should I practice now? The answer is already there. The moment arrived. So you begin. Now, one more. Listen. I make it easy for myself to continue. Repeat. I make it easy for myself to continue. Excellent. That idea matters. Because discipline does not always mean making things harder. Sometimes discipline means making things easier, clearer, lighter, more automatic. Now, let's make this practical. You can choose one morning anchor, one afternoon anchor, or one evening anchor. Only one is enough. Maybe when you put on your shoes, maybe when you wash one cup, maybe when you turn off one light before bed. In that moment, you listen to one short English audio, or repeat one sentence, or think one English thought. That is enough. Not 10 minutes, not a full lesson, just a clear return point. Now let's try one more shadowing sentence together. Listen. Even on quiet days, I stay connected. Now, repeat after me. Even on quiet days, I stay connected. Good. Again. Even on quiet days, I stay connected. Very nice. That sentence is very important because not every day will feel exciting. Some days will feel ordinary, and that is okay. Ordinary days also build fluency. In fact, most fluency is built on ordinary days. Not dramatic days, not perfect days, normal days. Days when you are a little tired, a little distracted, a little busy, and you still return. That is what changes you. So remember, do not build your English only on motivation. Build it on anchors, on routines, on small moments that are easy to repeat. That is how daily growth becomes real. And slowly, you stop asking, how do I stay motivated? And you start saying, this is just part of my day. And that is a beautiful change. Now, let's go deeper and turn this into tiny habits you can keep. Because this is where motivation becomes stable. Not strong, but stable. And that is what you really need. So now we take everything we talked about and turn it into very small micro habits. Simple actions, easy to repeat, easy to keep, even on difficult days. First, create a no-excuse version of your practice. This means even on your worst day, you still do something. Not a full session, not 10 minutes. Just one small action. For example, you listen to one sentence. That's it. Now repeat after me. One sentence is enough today. Good. Again. One sentence is enough today. Very nice. This removes resistance because your brain knows. It's easy. Second, use what we can call carryover moments. These are moments that are already moving, like walking from one place to another, moving from one task to another, closing one thing before starting the next. In those transitions, you bring one English sentence. For example, I'm just moving to the next thing. Repeat. I'm just moving to the next thing. Excellent. Now English travels with you. Not separate, not heavy, just present. Third, create a reset sentence. This is a sentence you use when you feel stuck, when you feel like stopping, when motivation drops. For example, I don't need to feel ready, I just need to start. Repeat after me. I don't need to feel ready, I just need to start. Very good. This sentence becomes your reset, your way back, your way to continue. Fourth, make your practice invisible. This is powerful because when something feels invisible, it doesn't feel heavy. For example, you are doing something normal, adjusting something, checking something, walking somewhere, and inside that moment, you repeat one sentence. No one sees it, no one hears it, but it is happening. Now repeat. I can practice without stopping my day. Good. Again, I can practice without stopping my day. Excellent. This is how habits become natural. Fifth, accept imperfect days as part of the process, not as a problem. Because some days will feel weak, some days will feel slow, and that is okay. Now listen. Even on low energy days, I stay connected. Repeat after me. Even on low energy days, I stay connected. Very nice. That sentence is very important because it removes guilt, it removes pressure, and it keeps you moving. Now let's do one more. Together, listen carefully. I'm building this slowly, but I'm building it every day. Now, repeat after me. I'm building this slowly, but I'm building it every day. Excellent. That is your reality now. You are building something. Not fast, not perfect, but real. And that matters. So remember, you don't need motivation to be strong. You need your system to be simple. Small actions, repeated daily. That is how confidence grows. That is how fluency grows. Quietly, naturally, without forcing it. Now, let's bring everything together and close this session with clarity. Take a slow breath and think about what you did today. You didn't try to force motivation. You didn't wait for the perfect moment. You didn't depend on energy. You built something more stable, a way to continue. You learned how to start small, how to reduce pressure, how to make English part of your identity, how to use simple anchors, and how to create tiny habits that fit your real life. These are not small ideas. These are the foundation of long-term progress. Now, I want to give you one simple sentence, a sentence you can remember easily. A sentence that represents everything from today. Here it is. I don't need motivation. I need a simple way to continue. Let's say it together. Repeat after me. I don't need motivation. I need a simple way to continue. Good. Keep this sentence with you, because this is the truth. Motivation is not reliable, but your system can be. Now, think about your day. There are many small moments. Moments when you feel tired, moments when you feel distracted, moments when you feel like stopping, and in those moments, you don't need to feel strong. You only need to return. Return to one sentence. Return to 1 minute. Return to one small action. That is enough. Because progress is not about intensity, it is about continuity. Now imagine this. You miss a day, it happens. You don't feel guilty, you don't stop, you simply return the next day. That is strength, not perfection, consistency. Now another moment, you feel slow, you feel like you are not improving, but you continue, you stay connected. That is growth, even if you don't see it yet. And one day, you will notice something. You understand more. You react faster. You feel more comfortable. Not because of one big effort, but because of many small ones. Now, let me show you something simple. You can take your real life and fill it with small English moments. When you pause, you listen. When you move, you repeat. When you think, you try one sentence in English. These are small actions, but they create something powerful. Because English becomes part of your life, not something separate. And that is the real goal. Now remember this, you are already improving, even if it feels slow, even if it feels imperfect. You are building something real, and I am proud of you, truly. If you want to keep learning like this, you can. Subscribe to Daily English Whisper. We will continue together, step by step, calmly, naturally, with confidence. My name is Max, and I will see you in the next episode. Take care, and remember, you don't need motivation, you just need to continue.